spinning.
Let me stop sharing this here.
Oh, maybe I'll remove this screen for now. Hello, everybody. I am so sorry we're late. Tech issues on our end. We are talking about bookkeeping spreadsheets today. I'm just going to make sure we are live. The two of us have like horrendous internet, but then on top of that, we discovered one of Andrea's computers is just not digging our lives. So if you've ever watched one of the past things that she did where her video's choppy, we've discovered it's one of her computers. So thankfully she has a second computer to get us through here. So we apologize for being late, but we are here now and ready. First off, we are using StreamYard. So if you are commenting down below, we're unable to see your name. If you do want us to see your name, you can just write in the comments what your name is, or you can give StreamYard permission. So we put the link here for you, streamyard.com/Facebook. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can do that now. The next thing is we are walking through the setup of a bookkeeping spreadsheet today. But our VIPs do have this template already. So you guys don't need to go and build this from scratch. You can go ahead to the vault. So here's the link to it. But you can also, it's probably just easier to go to the vault and type in bookkeeping or PLR 0308. That's how you can tell how many things we have in the vault for those who are missing out. We have like over 300 spreadsheets and templates and things in there. So VIPs, go over there, grab the bookkeeping spreadsheet, and you can walk along with us to see how this is set up. If you aren't part of VIP, that's fine. We are walking through how to set up your own today. And the last thing is we have a Google Doc for you to grab. If you go to spreadsheetables.com/032524. And this is where you can just grab like a little cheat sheet that we set up for you guys. I'm going to share my screen so I can show you that now. That's free for everybody to grab. You can see my screen now, Andrea?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So this is where that link will take you. We've set this up here. And I'll just do a quick run through and then Andrea's going to walk you through the spreadsheet. A bookkeeping spreadsheet. I'm glad we're like not starting with this one, but I'm really glad we're talking about this today because it relates to the spreadsheet that we did last week about picking the top 10 performers for your social media and analyzing that. Because this gives us a chance to walk through our mindset when we are setting these up. So whenever we want to set something up, everybody already knows how a bookkeeping spreadsheet is set up, but quite often Andrea and I are like creating things that don't even exist. And how we start off by doing that, or at least I do, is I think about what is the end result that I want from this spreadsheet. So we can think of KPIs. If you haven't heard of those are key performance indicators. So if you are looking at a company and you're helping support with these, companies often have KPIs. And these are vital measurements in your business to show how your business is performing. And so a bookkeeping spreadsheet is a really easy example because we know our total income, our expenses, and those kind of numbers. And those are KPIs for our financials. So when we set up a spreadsheet, we often think of those KPIs or what is the end goal that I want to show with this spreadsheet. And then I tend to work backwards from there. So what do I want? And then how do I get there? So these are the KPIs that we're talking about today or that have are included in this spreadsheet. So your income and expenses, which is just your sum of all income and expenses. So this is a really easy spreadsheet for beginners to set up. I think we have it actually ranked as a medium spreadsheet in the vault just because it has a little bit more formulas and more tabs involved with it. But you can have something really basic compared to what we're setting up today. You've got your profit and loss, and then your profit margin, which is just your profit divided by your revenue. Then from there, so speaking of working backwards, we're going to think about all of the things that we want to record in this spreadsheet. So all your income, your business income, if it's all on one, some people have those separate, your expenses, any business expenses. So we just made you guys a little quick checklist to make sure you include all of these things. Variable expenses too. You want to make sure you're including some of those. And then so with these KPIs, I often think about what I want to show from a spreadsheet at the start, but I don't really add those to the spreadsheet till the end. I don't know how, we'll see how Andrea, she can maybe talk through how she does it, but I visualize what's my end goal. And then I work backwards and I include the data in my spreadsheet. And then usually the last thing I'm adding is those visuals and the total KPIs and all of those things at the end. And things like a pie chart or a bar graph. Pie charts, some people are like nervous about adding charts because they don't know which charts to be adding. So there's a bit of a difference between a pie chart and a bar graph. So a bar graph is showing the difference in change over time. So a really good thing to select for that is showing how your income and your expenses change over time. So you're going to have the months at the bottom, and then, you know, your income and expenses are going to fluctuate. A pie chart is showing more of a whole picture. Think of it as a whole pie. It's working in percentages. It's like a maximum of 100%. So you can look at your total income. So that's your whole pie. And what pieces of those pie are the different sources of income that you have. And then same thing with expenses. A whole pie chart is going to be all of your expenses. And then each slice of that pie is going to show where those expenses are coming from. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing here. Oh, we have so many tabs open. There we go. So you can go ahead and grab that doc. And I think I've covered all of that. I'll hand it over to Andrea. She's going to walk through how you can, oh, you know what? I forgot to add, I was going to show you just quickly show you where to grab this for VIPs. So this is the vault, if people haven't seen it before, where you can find all of this information.
Yeah.
So for VIPs, if you just type in bookkeeping, oops, I spelled it wrong. It's going to pop up here. It's actually the one that we had given away at Christmas. So if you guys were part of that, you might actually have the spreadsheet. So you can just download it right here. Oh, I didn't share my screen for that. Oh, I did.
I did. I put it in.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, it's not showing anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Crazy today.
Yeah. So
he throws a little bit too. Some point.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I hope we don't have internet issues. That's always a big challenge for us. I'm on rural internet. We don't have actual hookup, but I saw a Rogers guy at the road the other day and I like hunted him down. I was like, what's going on? So we're getting high speed internet in the next year or so, but which would be amazing because our internet, I think we pay like $1,000 a month for internet, which is insane. So
wait, for real?
Yeah, actually, it might be double that because of the business and the how. Yeah, it's insane for internet. So, because we needed something fast, so it like works off the cell towers. Anyways, so needless to say, I like hounded this guy, and he was like, "It's coming."
Oh my gosh!
So
it's cheaper too for you. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I think we pay like $100 a month or something. I think it's expensive already.
Oh yeah, no, we're getting like it's so bad. But I'm thankful we have internet. We're in a very hilly area, and there's some places that just they don't have any internet at all, just the location that they're at. So at least we have it.
That is crazy. And I thought I was hiding. I think you're hiding even further than I am.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Cheryl said that it's working well on her end. Okay, good.
Good
morning. Hi, everyone. That was great.
If you guys have questions along the way, feel free to answer. I think somebody had asked already in the group if we were reviewing like linking or like taking the info from PayPal. So we're not getting into that. We're just like going the spreadsheet setup. Yeah. But definitely, I think that's an interesting topic for maybe one of the tech talks or something on like in VIP group on like pulling information from all those different sources and putting it into the spreadsheet.
Yeah, definitely. All righty. So are we ready? I don't know if I'm ready. Let me share my thing here. Okay. 1 second. I have like my 2 computers are on and I have like different mouses, different keyboards, and I'm like clicking on wrong things here. So I don't know what I'm doing. So bear with me.
Andrea's always had PC, right? And then is this your first Mac computer? And so the Mac is the computer that's working, but she's not feeling not as savvy, right? But you'll get it. It's all good.
Not at all. Okay. All right. So this is the bookkeeping spreadsheet. This one here is showing just a different layout, but it's basically the same thing that we have in the vault. I just changed the colors and everything, and I added some information in here, which is just like pulling information from other fields. And this is the one that we do sell on Etsy. So if you are in VIP or if you're thinking of joining VIP, we have the same setup in there, which is like the base, we call it base template. And then this will be in there, and you can just go ahead and change the things to make it your own. So I'm not going to build it from scratch. If you do want to step-by-step from, blank spreadsheet to this, I can do a walkthrough to go into our, what's it called, hands-on module.
Yeah, the hands-on learning.
Hands-on learning. Yeah, so I can do like a step-by-step from blank to this, right? But I'm not going to do this here because it's going to take forever. So I'm just going to walk you through how I have this set up, all the formulas that I've used, and how you can create your own and add the charts as well. So first thing that you're going to do, pretend that this is blank. You're going to go create the transactions log first. So give me 1 second here. I made a checklist also. If you go in here, I think we linked this to the doc, right? Did we link it to the doc?
Well, then we would link the whole thing. So I'll work on that.
I think I sent you the link for the individual one.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yep. All right, so then you're gonna have this here. It's just like basically a walkthrough and what you need to create first, second, and last. So basically like a step-by-step, but in checklist form. So the first thing you're gonna do, you're going to create a transactions log tab. So which is this one right here. And then you are going to limit the income and expenses categories, which is this one right over here. And why am I limiting this, the categories? That's because this is linked over here on the main tab. Okay, so here I have probably maybe like 10 or 15. And then let me see if I can. It doesn't show the count. Yeah, 15. So I have 15 rows here for income and 15 rows for expenses. And this is why I limited here to 15 categories for each one. And this is editable. The user, when you create this, you or the user can come in here and then change like income to, and then it should show over here, income too. So this is very customizable, which is why when you're selling spreadsheets, you want to do that. You want to make your spreadsheet as customizable as possible, so you don't have to do that to your, to the user. They can do it themselves. Okay, so once you set up this part over here, you are going to add these headings. The ones that really do matter and that are pulling information that are linked to the main tab are this one right here, A, B, C, and D. So date, transaction type, category, and amount. This one is optional. It's just for whatever description if you want to have any information here, and then some notes if you want to add an additional notes, but it's not needed. Okay, and then here I created drop downs. So this drop down, if you click over here, you will see that it's pulling from this tab right here, H6 and I6. So it's this two over here. And I did a drop down because you do not want to have any misspelling on this part over here and this part over here, because it is linked to the main tab. So if you come over here and you enter something like, you know, course instead of courses, the information is not going to filter on the other tab. Okay, and now same thing over here, but then this one is linked to the data over here. Actually, no, sorry guys, there's a third one over here. Okay, oops. So this one over here, I did, hold on, which one is linked? I forgot about this tab. J2, J23. 2 to 23. Okay, so here, let's see, I just pulled all the information from that transaction log, which is, should be more, should have space for 15. So hold on. And this, like, it doesn't really matter where it's at and here, as long as you're linking to the right thing in there. What I did here was I created this so I could have, all right, it's 7H8H9 there. So it will pull all the information from this part right here. And then here is pulling all the information from the expenses, which I am going to pull this down to make 15. Okay, so there we go. Now I have, this is like a, what do you call, like an assistant column, and I just put it in another tab so it's not in the main tab, and then the user like will not like erase anything. But basically I just created this to pull all the drop down. So the drop down will basically, it will ignore the blank cells. So then to have everything into one big drop down, I just created this assistant column to have it in there. Okay. I think these are not. I think this was for something else. I gotta double check this tab. Oh, let me fix this. Now I messed this up. There we go. So now your drop down has everything from J2, which is right here, all the way down. And I just click apply to all, and now it's back to normal. Okay. Sorry, there was a hiccup in there. I forgot about that tab. So then, right. Then you did it here, you created the drop down for the transaction type, and then you created the drop down for the categories. You're going to set the data validation for the date column to is valid date. So over here on column A, you just select the whole thing all the way down. And then you go to data validation, and then it should be column A, it's already here. So it's called, you're going to come over here and then you're going to change it to is valid date. And what this is going to do, it's going to give you the option for the little pop-up calendar thing. You just double click this and then it opens a little calendar. And that way there's no confusion. For example, if somebody is using a different date format, because in the US you use month, day, and then year, and then some other countries use, you know, day, month, and then year. So this basically just helps them select the correct date. And then here you can format if you want. We use the US format because our customer base is in the US. But if you're selling this in your country and it uses a different format, just come to format, number, and then custom date and time, and then you're just gonna select the one that you want in here, and you can click in here and change. So let's say you want the year to go first. You can just delete everything, and then I think it's month. Wait, hold on. Here we go. You can select if you want the day first, and then you put the separator that you want to show. It could be this, or it could be like a little dash. And then you select the month, and then you select the year. And then here you can select the formatting also of the day, the month, and also the year. If you wanted 2 numbers, if you wanted the 4 full, full numbers. Let me go back to the formatting that we had. And then you click apply, and that should give you this. And then what else? And then last but not least, from this tab, you're going to set your currency or accounting formatting in the column for the amount. So again, just select the whole column, and then go to format. You can select currency. You can select accounting. I like to use the accounting one. And then if you want a different currency, for example, if you're not using the US dollar symbol, you can come over here, and then you can change to, let's do this one, for example. It's not let me click. And then it changes the currency in here.
And just so people know, the accounting one is going to show negative, right? So it's going to show brackets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Okay, so this is it for the transaction log. Do we have any questions for that one? I'm gonna do in parts. Is there any questions? Let me see. I don't know what it says here. On how to create this sheet. Is that
I responded. I just mentioned that's the same person, those few comments, just that the replay will be available too. And yes, that we're walking through it.
Okay.
Cheryl says we can learn Mac together. What a struggle.
It is a struggle. Oh my gosh. I mean, I had
all the shortcuts are different. Like when you highlighted all the same column, right? That is a shortcut, and that's different from a PC. So you're having to relearn like all the shortcuts.
Yeah. I know. I had a MacBook Air before this one, but I used very sporadic, very little. I always chose the PC over the Mac. But now this one, my PC is dying.
Yeah,
it's very less lag. Now I have to learn Mac. So yeah, all right.
The transaction log, do you like it all? Because it could have been set up as one tab is income and another tab is expenses. Yeah. Do you like it all together because it just makes it easy when you're going through all of your stuff and you can just enter it as it comes in?
I do. Yeah. And that's why I always set my stuff. I try to minimize. That's a great question, actually, because I see the majority of people use separate. But everybody that I've talked to, users, they always come and say, oh, I love that everything is in one tab. And you can always filter, if you want to see only your expenses, and you come over here, and then you just select the expenses category. And then you have them all in one tab, right? If you want to see only your income, you just change to this one, and now you have all your income. So I don't see a need for 2 separate tabs. But you can do that. The formulas on the main thing in here will change a little bit, but you can do that too.
Yeah. So I guess maybe as somebody that's building a spreadsheet, it might be, if you aren't as good with formulas, it might be easier to have separate tabs. But Andrea's always thinking of the user experience, and it might be better, if you can keep maybe less tabs is sometimes better, so that they're not having to scramble and look for everything. So yeah, that's a good point. So if you're newer to Google Sheets, it might be actually easier to set those up as separate tabs, but you can do it however you like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I always like to think as if I was using it. I like less clicks, less places to go, less tabs to look at. But yeah. Okay. So are we good on this one? There's no questions about this tab?
Yeah, you cut out there for a second. You like to keep it, I assume you said, as easy as possible.
Oh, no. Why
It's okay. It's been good so far. So
from tab. Yeah.
just the odd word disappears here and there. It's fine.
Oh, I think I froze. Did I freeze again? Okay.
No, you're okay.
Okay. All right, good. So now on to the main scary tab. Just kidding, guys. Not scary. All right. So what we're going to do here, forget this. You're going to leave a big space for the charts if you want your charts to show on the top. If not, you can just start it from over here, or you can add your charts in a separate tab. And again, that's up to you. You can change things as you wish. And again, I like to just have everything in one place, but some brains might work better, if you put this on a separate tab and like call it dashboard or something, or reports or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so for this tab, first thing you're going to do, you are going to select, and that is in the checklist, select the cell to enter the first year for the books. So I put this here because, again, thinking of the end user, some people, they start doing their books, in June. Some people start doing their books in April. Some people start doing their books in January. So this is very customizable for the end customer, and the formulas will be based on the first day in here. So basically what the first day does is get all the transactions from that first day onto the 12 months, like recurring 12 months. And then, somebody said,
I'm just gonna, the file is different to the one we have in the vault. It doesn't have a checklist tab, for instance. So if you're seeing the checklist that Andrea is showing on her screen, she built that today to walk you guys through the setup. So if you want to grab that, go to, let me put up this link. If you're just joining us, go to spreadsheetables.com/032524. And we have notes on today's session. And inside those notes, I have a comment that says, everyone grab the checklist here. And then there's a link. So if you want to go ahead and grab that, and you can kind of follow along. But again, if you're in VIP, you can find this spreadsheet if you just type in bookkeeping in the search tab for the vault, and you can just grab. It's similar to this, not quite the same, but it's a similar setup.
It's just the only difference from the one in the vault is this part right here, which I added for a look, for my thing to sell. But I think we have one we can open later, the one that we have in the vault. Also, the checklist tab, you do not want this checklist tab if you're going to sell your spreadsheet. This is a checklist that I put together just for the walkthrough, for you to understand how the spreadsheet is broken down. And if you want to change something and you want to make it your own, you know what everything is linked to. So it doesn't, it doesn't confuse you, but you don't want this checklist tab in here.
Yeah.
That's why we put it separate. This is just for my own, so I don't get lost walking you guys through. Okay. Thank you. I said the checklist is so nice. I'm glad it helps. Now we're trying to, and then I'm gonna do, if it helps too, I can do the walkthrough like I say in the vault, step by step, how to do like from scratch. So then maybe you can change. Because, for example, there's many different ways so you can change the layout on this, right? So if you don't want to limit like the categories for income and expenses in here, you can do income like right here, and then you can put expenses like continue on this side. That way it's like unlimited. You can do like as many categories as you want.
That's a great point for like the design of how you have it set up.
Yeah, so mine is limited just because of that. And, not everybody has a bunch of incomes. And if you do, the way this is set up, if you do have like more expenses, there's 15 tabs. I mean, you can just, cluster them into like maybe, put like others or something, miscellaneous, right? So to me, like it wouldn't be necessary. But if you do want more, you can either add more rows in here, and then you're going to add more rows in here. And then make sure like you change, you know, because I forgot, but make sure you change those so you can pull all the information from the drop downs. But yeah, there's many different ways of doing this.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because I think that actually came up with the Tech Talks, right? People had the template and our VIPs were asking about adding extra columns. So that's like a good like trigger for all of us to be like, oh, like customers are maybe going to want more categories. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was definitely in Tech Talk. So if you do want to add more roles and everything and you want the step by step, we go to the Tech Talk module inside of the membership, and then we have all the replays in there. And if you click to open them, we have the description of what's inside of each one. So you can, you know, you can find the one that you're looking for. Okay, so then here you are going to enter the month, right? So here is why we put this customizable, and you're going to use this formula. It's end of the month, profit and loss, D5, and then 0 to get the first month, the month that is in here. And then here, let me see. It says enter the formula to calculate the months based on cell D5 using the end of month. It finds the last day of the month when all transactions for the month must be recorded with, you know, within the books. And then this one, you are going to be changing. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. It gets the month, and then you go all the way to 11, which is going to be, you know, your full 12 months frame. So if I change this for, if I'm starting the books on 6/1, then here it's going to start on June and then all the way to May. Okay. And then what is next? Then you're going to set the income by referring to the transaction log. And that is this part right here. So you just click equal transaction log H6, which is this one right here. And then you pull this down. Give me 1 second, you guys. My baby's crying. It's my husband.
I tell him to get the baby.
Yeah.
Berglind has a great question. When you create a video to go along with the spreadsheets, do you do them at normal speed with normal voice, or 1.5-ish when with text overlay or arrows, or something entirely different? That is a great question, because there is so many different ways of doing it. I don't speed up videos with voice, because then you turn into a little chipmunk, unless there is some sort of software that I don't know about that doesn't turn you into chipmunk voice. So yeah, there's lots of ways. So we have those start here templates for people, and it can be as simple as doing like screenshots for people, depending on the complexity of the spreadsheet. If it's pretty simple, you can just get away with screenshots in the Start Here tab. I would build them in Canva. So I would do a screenshot and I would add arrows and step numbers and things like that. Mm-hmm. If it's more complex, you'll want a video to go along with it. We try to, not our replays, but our other videos, we try and cut out like dead space or dead air, because, you know, with video, everybody wants like all the information coming at them. They don't want to be waiting. So I would do that at normal speed. And at a very basic level, you can do what Andrea is doing, is literally just like talking through it and showing them. If you have video editing skills, you can start like zooming. So when she's doing mouse activity on like a drop down or something, you could be zooming in on that. You can be adding arrows and things like that. If you don't have video editing skills, you can be switching between, like, you could have a spreadsheet and you can have screenshots that are like zoomed in with the arrow. So you can, you know, be talking about the spreadsheet, but if you need to show them some detail, you can switch over to an image and just kind of walk them through that way. What do we use for video editing? I use Final Cut Pro, which is a Mac base. That's a expensive program, so I wouldn't recommend it, as I just happen to have it because I'm in marketing and use it for other things. There's OBS Studio, which is free. I found the user face not super user friendly, but I should dive into it more because it is free and a lot of people use it for even like YouTube channels and things like that. I do like InShot on my phone is very user friendly. I use that for marketing, like editing reels and TikToks and things like that. So I love that platform. It's really easy to learn. I highly suggest it. The downside is I don't believe there's a desktop based one. So if you're doing like a 20-30 minute spreadsheet video and you edit it on your phone, it's going to be cumbersome, but it's like probably one of the most user-friendly video editing platforms that I know of. I hope that answered your question, Berlin. You can let us ask some follow-up questions if you're wondering anything else.
Yeah, I will add, I use Loom with mine.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Loom.
Yeah, it's paid. I don't know if there's a free version or not, but I love it. I mean, I do just for the walkthrough videos, I just do the basic stuff, and I just cut up the ums and ahs. And it's really simple. You just like trim, you literally like stop the video, trim that part, and you can like adjust where you want to start and stop. So yeah, I use Loom, and it has the little face, like the round thing, like her face is in a circle, which people like that too. I like that better than the square for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
really,
forgot about
really,
Loom. Loom is very user friendly, so I would suggest that if you're, I guess the InShot I'm suggesting if you want to overlay text and arrows and things like that, that one's really easy. But yeah, at a basic level, Loom is wonderful for doing that. I find the editing cumbersome, like cutting out the ums and ahs. But if you don't know other video editing apps, it's not going to be a problem.
yeah, I like it. I think it's really easy. The ums and ahs to get it out. But and I like too that you can just share the link right there. You know, if you don't want to upload it to YouTube or anything, or your Google Drive or whatever, you can just copy the link and then pop it into your spreadsheet, like the Start Here tab, and it's really simple.
That's a great point. I'm glad you're bringing this up. Also, we should probably just do like a training for our members on all of this because there is a lot to it. Loom is great. I will share like a random link to members if they have a question, and it's like a really quick walkthrough. I don't really care about saving that video in the future. If you are selling spreadsheets and you're using those, I like personally, I would put those videos into YouTube instead of housing them in Loom, because if you ever switch from Loom and there's some other platform that's better out there and you move, you don't lose those videos, but you're going to have to transfer them over. So the videos that we want to create and keep for our members that are important, we upload to YouTube and put them as unlisted, and that's how we share with our members so that people can't just search and find them. They have to be a member to get it. We do have a YouTube channel with public videos, but that's how we keep them separate from if somebody's buying from Etsy and we need a video, we'll put it on YouTube as unlisted. So good questions.
Let me just show you real quick. My baby's like screaming in the background. My brain is like
He's got this. We have faith in him.
All right. So then here you're just gonna refer back to the transaction log tab. And then you're gonna do the same thing with the expenses. Go back in here and then just put equal and then right here. And this is, you're doing this, you're setting it up so you can filter the information that is going to be coming from here. Now here, this one's right here where is like the lighter shade. I'm using the sum ifs formula. The sum ifs formula is in here in the checklist as well. You are going to, wait, where is it at? All right, here. All right, so here, I'm sorry. So the sum ifs just adds the numbers in the range that meets multiple criteria. So if you go over here, the sum if formula. So here you have the syntax. This is the form. So you're going to put the sum range. So which range do you want to sum the numbers? So I'm going to be summing the numbers from the transaction log D. So it's right here. It's the amount category, the amount column. And then here, I'm going to, now here, you're going to enter the criteria range and the criteria that you want to use. So for here, I'm saying that in the column B, which is transaction type, I want it to match B25, which is this one right here. So if that matches, then I'm going to move on to the next step, which is here. And I want the transaction log C, which is this one right here. The category needs to match this one right here, which is the membership. So if it matches the income, right, the transaction type, and if it matches the category, then it's going to move on to the next one. Now here, this needs to match the transaction log A, which is the date column, needs to be, and here I'm using the date formula, and I broke it down to take the year and then the month, because I needed to start counting from the first day of that month in that year, which is referring back to here. And then this one, if it meets that criteria, so if it is within, if it's the date is, if the information on the column A in the transaction tab is a bigger or equal the first day of this year and this month, then it's going to move on to the next one, which is here. And then if the date in the transaction log column for the date is smaller, then now I put it here. I'm using this one right here. So I'm referring to the first day of the next month. I know it's confusing, but I'm using this because I don't want it to be you saying here that I'm using on the 31st, for example, right? January 31st, because if this date, if they change the start date to be June over here, it's not going to be 31st, it's going to be 30, right? And then if you put it to get smaller than 30 or 31, if it goes, it will spill over into the next month, and it will get whatever is on the first month of that, the first day of that month. Sorry, I try not to confuse you guys. But basically you want here, this one is counting, it's getting whatever is after the 1st of January and before the 1st of this month over here. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense for everybody. Okay.
And I think too, if you guys are watching and the replay will be up, you can always go back to watch this video and pause it and build along, like use the same cells that she has here. And then you can see she like paused the screen there and copy out the formula. And like, that's how I learn, is like having a formula there in front of me and like playing around with it and see how it affects the spreadsheet. It's a good way to learn to actually like dive in and do it.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I explained that portion and why I'm doing like this month and the next month, instead of just like, oh, if the transaction log, the month and the date, equals this, then that's because it's going to spill into the next month. Like for February, for example, there's like, sometimes there's 28, sometimes there's 29. So you just want to make sure you're using this to calculate the first and then the next month. Now,
that's great. I love that.
Yeah. So and I learned that the hard way, trust me. I'm like,
did you?
My numbers not adding up. It should be counting only January. And then I was like, oh, that's why, because it's spilling over. It was the February that I had the issue with. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah. And then for the last one, for December, that's the only one that's going to be different, because if you count this cell right here, there's no date in here. So your formula is going to be wrong. So for this one only, for your last month, you want to just do, you're going to refer to this one, and then you're going to add 31. And that should be no issue, because it's not counting anything like for the next month. So, and then you're going to repeat the same thing for here. And then what I did in here, I did the sum for this. So basically it's just summing the income per the month. So I know that for the month of January, this income was this, the total income was this and this. And then here on the right side column, I have the total for the row. So then it's just counting my total for the entire year. And as it adds in, as it adds up over here, it's going to just sum over here. And this is your total for your income for the year. And then here's your total per category per year. Same thing for the expenses. Now here is, let me see if I skipped something. Put this on the income row, you're going to put the sum. Then this is just the normal sum formula. So I think that's the first formula that people learn in Google Sheets. Okay, so we did that. Now, all right, now to calculate the net business profit, you're going to find your net profit, you're going to get the total income minus the total expenses. So it's right here. Now, okay. Now mine is adding, and that is because on here, I multiplied by -1 because I wanted to show as negative. And that is something that is totally a personal thing. I like seeing my expenses, like what comes out, I like to see as a negative. Whereas if you don't want to, it's totally fine. And then you just remove this. If you take this off, then it's going to be showing, it should show normal, I think. I don't know why it's showing that. Anyway.
Is there still a negative in front of it? Is that why? No.
Yeah, so I put a times negative in here to make that negative. Yeah, I don't know. I like seeing negative. And this is why I did plus over here, because I am taking, the positive, and then it's like positive with positive is positive, positive with negative, negative. So you just want to make sure that you're doing it correct. And I think I added to the checklist. I didn't. But anyway, if your numbers are positive over here, you just do this one and then minus this one right here. And then here, same thing, just do a normal sum formula. And then to find your business profit margin, you are going to do net profit, which is the one that we just calculated, and you're going to divide it by the total income. And then here it is. And then I put like if error, just so if it feels like if there is no income or if there's no expenses, you don't get like that, the error that it shows. What is the question?
How do the formulas change if you're using the accounting format?
Yeah, so this is because the accounting format, it makes it negative. Everything that is,
but yeah, so if you just put in like your expense is $100, it's not going to know it's negative. So even if you use the accounting format, it's not going to switch it to negative. It only does it if it is a negative. So if you enter something as negative 100, then it will have like the brackets. Am I right, Andrea? Yeah.
Yeah, it should. Let me see. Let me remove this here. Yeah, see, I changed the format to currency, and then I removed the -1 times. So then it's showing positive. So if you are doing that, okay.
And now just to show them, like if you go to the, it's already in accounting format, right?
This one is currency format. This one is currency. Now, if I change it to the accounting, it's still showing positive because I'm not showing the negative, because on the transactions log, it's positive.
Yeah, so that formatting doesn't know it's an expense.
It doesn't. Yeah, not automatically. So that's why I put in here. So then I did, was it -1? No, -1 times. Now it is negative. And then it's showing within the bracket thing.
Okay, she says, okay, got it. Makes sense. Awesome.
Perfect. Okay. And then what else? Now here for the charts, I just added this data here. This is just like referring to the front cell, so I can have everything in a very neat table, so my chart is not like all over the place. So just referring this to over here, just put equals this, do the same to all of this, and then total income, total expenses, and this is for my labels, and then just refer back, and this is the total over here. So I'm referring back to this, and then to all of those. And then for the chart, you're just gonna select this and go to insert chart, and then it already gives you a chart right there. And you can go into this and you can change it over here, the formatting if you want. They have like some suggested, but then here you can see also like if you want a different, you know, like sidebar, you can change the charts that you want to show. And I'm not going to go into this because Mel did another video last week, but you can edit all your charts in here. You can make it 3D. You can change the colors of the series. You can, you know, do many other things with the charts. And then, so that is for this one right here. Okay, this is what I did for this chart. Total income, total expenses, and then here it shows the month. If I am starting from, let's say starting from March, then my chart will, you know, dynamically change to show starting from March as well. And then last but not least, I put the income here, and this is the total for the year. So if I click in here, it is pulling the information from here, and then just copy everything down, which I have to edit this to put more columns in here. But it should have all the 15 rows for this one, and it should have all the 15 rows for this one as well. And then same thing, just come over here and then insert and then chart. This one, the Google Sheets already suggested that the best way to show this breakdown would be with a pie chart. And then again, you can customize everything in here. Make it 3D. Oh my gosh, I hate this. You can make it 3D. You know, you can add the donut hole. You can change the legend also if you don't want it pointing over here. You can put like to the bottom, to the side. You can change the colors of each slice over here. So that is it for this chart. And then you do the same thing for the expenses. Just come over here, select everything, insert chart, and then it should give you everything. And this is why I like to put my this on the side, so it's not like too much going on in the chart. So this chart over here I made into this and put them side by side for easy comparison.
Yeah, it's almost like I find if it's between, I don't know, 4 and 5 or 6, I start like leaning towards having like a legend off to the side like you have, because it just becomes too
polluted. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did they say?
Do you leave? Oops, is it showing? Or you're doing it at the same time? Do you leave the chart loaded the whole time or just to see?
What do you mean?
I wonder if he means like we do leave the chart just because we're creating these for Etsy and our members and things. The chart stays there. I wonder if he means if you're just building something for yourself, you can often tell right away just from your bottom line and things like that without having to create a chart.
Yeah.
You can usually, like for some of my other businesses, I don't have a chart, but I like go through all the expenses and I can see already where some of the problems are, because we do have like percentages listed beside each line item to see what expenses are taking up the most of the expenses, but don't necessarily create a chart. So I think it's personal preference. If you're okay with just reading numbers, then cool. If you need a visual, you can just leave the chart in there and, you know, it'll update again next year when you enter your information, like if you delete everything and start again.
Yeah.
So yeah, personal preference. But if you're selling it, it's always like pretty to have, you know, the charts in there for people.
People like charts, although like I think half of the time they don't even look at the charts. And you can have all the like the way, like this is why I added this here. It's basically the same thing, but like in showing like a different formatting, right? So it's like right in your face when you come in. You don't have to come over here and see like, oh, okay, no, so my totals for this or this. You know, I just put everything right here on the face, so they don't have to scroll down all the way to see like, okay, this is my margin, right? So this is my margin, right? So again, you can mix and match and do however you want. You know, you can choose to display the numbers like this. You can choose to display in a chart, or you can just choose to, you know, have just the numbers in here, if whatever it is that you know you like. And here I grouped this, so you can go like this. And this normally would be hiding. This is not for the customer to see. So this is what they would get. Nice. And then you can come here, you can see like all your monthly, you know, which is basically what the same thing is in the chart, but different ways for you to see, visualize everything. Okay.
I put this question up here. Is it possible to change the currency and still maintain the format as accounting? It doesn't seem to work on my end.
No, you either do currency or you're doing accounting. But I think you might be able to change. Let me see. Okay, let me do this one here. Format number. All right. It's not letting me. Now, I think for this one, you might have to change like the whole spreadsheet settings, which is in here. And then you're going to select currency. So if you are in Canada, for example, and you want to show the, you know, I don't know,
Canadian dollar?
Was the Australia dollar, right? The one that I showed before, AUS or something. And then you're going to have to change over here. And you're going to have to find your country and then change. And then that should change the currency for everything else in here. Let me see if I can do this currency number format. No, maybe. The currency, yeah, you could, I think you'll be able to change it here. So let's say you want to, I don't know. Is it this one? Yeah, you can change it here. Just make sure that you're changing all of them. And then that should be it. And then you click apply. Yeah, now it will show. Okay, so yeah, go to format number and then custom number format. And then you're able to change that here.
And I think I haven't done it before, but some people offer spreadsheets where you have like a drop down and you select the currency and it would probably refer to a cell in there, like that what you were just showing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, we went through this. I don't like, you could have like a separate column for this. Like if you add the column here, I think I have a video on YouTube for that. Insert the column here, and then you're going to like make it smaller.
Oh, with the currency, yeah.
Yeah, like the currency drop down, and then instead this would be just a number. So here you would just format as a number. So this would be just here, and then here you would have like a drop down. So so if you have, oh my gosh, it's all. Put a drop down here. New drop down, so you can have, you know, the currency for them to select.
Did you guys catch that shortcut that she did, the at drop down? That's a pretty handy little thing.
There's actually, I'm planning a video. There is new stuff happening for the chips. I'm gonna do like some video.
Cool.
My listing. It's really cool.
I wish some of the chips, like I wish they like I could select a whole bunch of cells and then switch it to chips. I'm pretty sure that doesn't, you're not allowed to do that yet, right? I wish that feature would come through.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, so this is how you would do the drop down. So then you have in here, with this or this, and then you would have that to all your rows over here, basically. And then you can just like shorten this and maybe like put this to the side. It's not even going. Maybe this one here, so they're like closer together, so it will look like a one thing. I personally don't like it, but for this one, it wouldn't be too much of a problem because the customers are not editing anything in here. It's all automatic. So that wouldn't be an issue. But like for things that they have to automatically, you know, like here, you would have to do the same thing, like add here, and then you would refer back to this. And then once you change here, and then it changed over here, and then this you would have to format also as a number.
Cool.
So you can do that. But again, they're going to come here, they're going to try to erase everything, they're going to erase this, you know, and then it's no longer showing, and you're like, oh my gosh, ready to go. So avoid that. Yeah, but if they asked, you know, you could do that. I don't know. Some people don't even care. Like they just see the dollar sign and know it's their currency, right? So it's really, again, it's whatever works for you. Some people like to see, some people don't. So
yeah,
some people don't care.
Diane, back to when we were talking about video, she says there's Camtasia. I hope I'm saying that right. It's not a free program though, so you guys can check that out as well.
Yep. I think I heard of that before.
Awesome. I don't think I see any other questions. Yes, there's going to be a recording of this in the groups if you guys are looking for that. I think that's all the questions I see here. Oh, and we had a whole bunch of new members join VIP. I see I'm getting some notifications. So welcome to you people. Thank you for joining us. Just give us a minute after the live to just go through and check your status, and then we'll let you guys in. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. We still have a deal on our membership, only 6 more days, where you get the first month at a discount. There's some coupon codes. I will put the link up here if you guys are interested. Spreadsheetbills.com/membership. You can check that out. Yeah.
It is ending, you guys. It ends at the end of the month. So if you are trying to, if you been thinking of testing, or not testing, seeing how it is and how the community is and what we have in the membership and what templates do we have inside of the membership, now is the time to join. It's only $27 a month. Not a month. The $27 the first month, and then it goes back to our normal schedule of $47 a month. But yeah. And then we also have the tier 1 open, and this step-by-step from 0 to, for blank spreadsheet to bookkeeping spreadsheet. I will see whenever I have time. I'll record the video and I'm going to drop it in there so that people from tier 1 would have the step-by-step on how to build this from scratch. If you feel like you need a little bit more hand-holding, more than what we showed it here today.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. My favorite that you did was like the habit tracker, because it's such a pretty visual with the plant growing in Google Sheets. It's pretty simple for people like starting out to just like follow along with her video. And because it has some images that like switch out in there, it makes you look like a Google Sheets pro, even though you're a beginner. Yeah. So she's got some tricks up your sleeve to make you look really good, even though it's pretty simple to set up. So
yeah, I have to add more videos in there. It's time consuming, but it's great. Once it's there, it's easy to follow along.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if you guys have any questions after this, feel free to ask in any of the groups, and we can get back to you. Thanks for watching with us today.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We will see you later, guys. Bye. Thank you very much.